Hey, welcome to Hooper's Radar. Today I'll be ranking NBA teams based on their watchability off of how fun or boring they're going to be to watch this upcoming season. With that said, let's get into it. So I have all 30 NBA teams here, and we're going to be ranking them based on these categories I've made. Not watching, which is the lowest, then kind of boring, then entertaining, then primetime TV, and then watching every game, which is basically a must watch. So let's start with the Milwaukee Bucks. We know this is a consistent team that is always going to make the playoffs, be at the top. With that said, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks are kind of boring. You know what you're going to get with them. Very good defense, Giannis. They don't play a very exciting style of basketball, and that's why I'm going to put them in kind of boring. Second, we have the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are very interesting. They have some nice young talent, but I feel like nobody's going to tune in much. Ben Simmons might bring the most viewers because people just love to hate on Ben Simmons. But with that said, I just feel like I'm not really going to be watching the Brooklyn Nets much. I don't feel like many people are going to be watching the Brooklyn Nets. I just feel like it's going to be very boring. Next is the New York Knicks. I feel like the New York Knicks are a decently entertaining team. Julius Randle always balls. People love to watch Jalen Brunson. They're just a big market. The New York Knicks are definitely an entertaining team. Next is the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors, I feel like, are a very, I don't know. I don't feel like people watch the Toronto Raptors. They don't play a crazy style of basketball. Now that Fred VanVleet is gone, I don't know really who's going to watch Raptors games like that. For Pascal, maybe Scotty Barnes is interesting. But I feel like the Raptors are kind of down here with the Nets, not going to be watching much of Toronto Raptor games. The Utah Jazz, I actually have a surprising pick. I feel like the Utah Jazz are going to actually be kind of entertaining this season. I mean, you got Lauri Markkanen coming back. You got Keontae George, who I do definitely want to watch. Some of their rookies are nice. John Collins. So call me crazy because I know the Jazz did make that run last year during the beginning of the regular season. I feel like the Jazz can be very entertaining if they're competitive, and I'm gonna have a spicy take here and put them at entertaining. Next, I got the Houston Rockets, and to be honest with you, I think the Houston Rockets are going to be primetime TV this season. They got Fred VanVleet. It's going to make it interesting. They got Dylan Brooks. They have so much nice young talent with Tari Eason, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Amon Thompson, Cam Whitmore. All those guys are going to be really talented. I really want to see the Rockets make a push this season for the play-in at least. I think they're going to be primetime TV to watch. I definitely am going to watch them. Next is the New Orleans Pelicans. Very entertaining team when Zion's healthy. Brandon Ingram's a great player. CJ is. With that said, Zion isn't very healthy most of the time, so I'm just going to put them in entertaining. They have primetime TV potential when Zion is healthy, but I think entertaining is a good category for now. Next is the Lakers. I think we can all agree the Lakers are an entertaining team to watch. They're not primetime because at the same time, you do know what you're going to get with this Lakers team, but I think they're a very competent team. You obviously are going to tune in to watch LeBron and AD have very good games and dominate. But I'm gonna keep the Lakers entertaining because they're not as primetime TV as other teams, with other teams that have athleticism. Next we got Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, in my opinion, are a little bit slightly above the Nets and Raptors because they at least have DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, who will give you some nice highlights and great plays every now and then. But they're also very kind of mid in the watchability there. But I'm gonna put the Bulls. I don't know if I put the Bulls in not watching or kind of boring. I'm very in between on this, but I'm going to say that I would definitely, as a person, be more likely to tune into a Bulls game than a Nets or Raptors game, so I'm just going to put them in kind of boring. Next, we got the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, I don't feel like many people watch much Timberwolves games, and for that reason, the only great thing about watching them is Anthony Edwards, and that just puts them over the top a little bit and puts them in kind of boring. I'm gonna put them in kind of boring because I'm not really gonna watch much of them. And you can make the argument the Nets have Mikal Bridges, and that's the most fun part for them. But to be honest, I don't think Mikal Bridges is as fun of a player to watch as Anthony Edwards, and that's what makes me pick the Timberwolves over the top. Next, we got the Portland Trailblazers, and I know a lot of people don't watch the Portland Trailblazers. Even when Dame plays, there's still not as many viewers. And now that they're going to get past the Dame era, it's going to be Scoot, Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons. With that said, though, I think the Blazers are going to be very fun to watch, and maybe call me biased because I'm a Blazers fan, but I definitely want to see this Scoot, Anthony Simons, and Shaedon Sharpe trio go at it. And for that reason, I'm going to have to say that the Blazers are going to be primetime TV in my opinion this season, Don't kill me in the comments. Next, we got the Denver Nuggets. And you guys might all kill me for this, but we all know the Denver Nuggets don't play the flashiest style of basketball at all. But with that said, I definitely do think that Nikola Jokic as a player is more entertaining to watch than Giannis, because you do get the passing and all that. And that's what's going to make it go over the top for me a little bit and go entertaining. Plus, Jamal Murray has some very nice highlights every now and then and just goes off. And that's what has me with the Nuggets and entertaining. Next, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I feel like all the young teams are going to be the primetime TV teams, because they're just all like so talented, and you don't know what to expect with these young teams in terms of where they're going to finish in the standings. You know, they're all getting better constantly. And for that reason, I think I'm going to put the OKC Thunder in primetime TV. They were fun to watch last season, and they only get better every year. And now we're going to have Chet Holmgren back on the Thunder alongside Shea, Jalen Williams, and Josh Giddey. I think it's going to be a very fun team to watch. Primetime TV for me. Next, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. We know Ja Morant's going to be out for about, I believe, 25-30 games at the beginning of the season. The Memphis Grizzlies are a pretty fun team to watch. You got Jaren Jackson blocking the absolute out of everything. You got Desmond Bane shooting very well. And then when Ja Morant is healthy, which he's healthy most of the time, he is just amazing to watch. And I feel like the Grizzlies are I think the Grizzlies are primetime TV. Watching Ja Morant is just a spectacle. You can make the argument that watching Zion is just as a spectacle as Ja, but Zion just isn't as available as Ja Morant, and we've seen that, and I think that that's what makes the Pelicans take a toll and keep them entertaining. But all the young teams got primetime TV. Most of the young teams have primetime TV for me. I got the Grizzlies here, man. Next, we got the Dallas Mavericks. I think the Dallas Mavericks are also going to be primetime TV. We have Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, two wizards with a basketball in their hand. Yeah, the rest of the roster is cool. You got Grant Williams and stuff. The rest of the roster is, whatever. But the main selling point about watching this Dallas Mavericks team is this elite duo of Luka and Kyrie. Absolutely tween, step back, get to the rim. Just two talented shot creators who can handle the ball amazingly. And that's the most entertaining part of watching the Dallas Mavericks. I think they're primetime TV. And so far, we don't have anybody watching every game. Spurs are next. Call me crazy. I know Victor Wembanyama is the biggest selling point about the Spurs. I'm going to say the Spurs are going to be a watching every game type of team this season. I just want to see Victor Wembanyama, how he will impact the Spurs team. They've been at the bottom of the West for years. I want to see if Victor Wembanyama could definitely be on this this very watching every game spectacle. I mean, I want to see if Victor Wembanyama will bring to the Spurs, if he'll bring in a lot of viewers. And he's just at the top for me. I know the Rockets are very exciting, the Blazers are exciting, Thunder are exciting, but I feel like having that number one prospect, that the consensus number one prospect who has the biggest potential in this draft on your team after so many years of you being at the bottom of the West just makes it very interesting to want to watch a Spurs game these days. Next, we got the Phoenix Suns. I think they're watching every game too. They just picked up Bradley Beal to add to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and the rest of this roster is just absolutely decked out. They picked up Eric Gordon, Bol. This is just going to be an insane season to watch the Phoenix Suns, and I definitely will be tuning in every game possible that I can, because I just want to see how this team does and how they finish the regular season and how they look during the regular season. How they look during the regular season and how they perform should be able to tell how they will be in the playoffs. And they just have such a stacked roster. They're going to be selling tickets. Let's just be honest. They got every reason to sell tickets. Next, I got the Los Angeles Clippers. I think the Clippers are entertaining. They're fun to watch. You got Kawhi when he's healthy. He's very fun to watch. Paul George is still a very good player, fun to watch when he's healthy. A lot of people call him the taller Kyrie Irving. I don't necessarily fully agree with that, but yes, Paul George is very entertaining to watch. And you got Russell Westbrook, very entertaining. I'm going to have to put him in the entertaining category. Next, we got the Golden State Warriors. I feel like the Golden State Warriors are always primetime TV to watch. They've been primetime TV to watch for a while. It's just Stephen Curry, man. He's just such a fun player to watch. All the crazy three-pointers he hits, the crafty layups, him running all game. That's what really takes it over the top over all the teams entertaining for me. They all have a very talented player on their team that is fun to watch, but none of them are like Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is incredibly entertaining to watch. I'm going to put him in primetime TV. Next, we got the Detroit Pistons. I think the Detroit Pistons are going to be decently entertaining to watch this season. I don't normally exactly love watching a Detroit Pistons game, but you guys have seen how much hype I've had on Asar Thompson fitting in with this team. I like Kate Cunningham when he's healthy. James Wiseman is cool. Isaiah Stewart is cool. Marvin Bagley is as well. Bogdanovich is also balling. I know not many people watch Detroit Pistons, but I got my Pistons fans. I got you guys. I think the Pistons are going to be an entertaining team to watch. They have a very nice upcoming young core alongside the Thunder, Blazers, and Rockets, but I just don't think they have that player or that necessarily very strong core that puts them in primetime TV just yet. But I think they'll be decently entertaining to watch this season, at least more entertaining than the Bucks, Bulls, and Timberwolves. And don't kill me for the Bucks one. I'm just very used to the way they play, very used to them always consistently winning games. They're just a consistent team. They're not going to give you anything crazy. And Giannis is somewhat fun to watch, but he just run and dunks. Let's be honest. He just gets crafty layups. So that's why I got the Pistons at entertaining. Next, we got the Sacramento Kings. I think the Sacramento Kings are also an entertaining team to watch. You got Fox. He's electric to watch. Got Keegan Murray, one of the most talented young players in the league that is up and coming. Malik Monk is so much fun to watch off the bench. He's arguably the highlight reel on that team. This guy gets some of the craziest dunks. Sabonis is also fun to watch with his passes and stuff. I think the Sacramento Kings are an entertaining team for the most part. Next, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm going to say that the Cleveland Cavaliers, although they do have Donovan Mitchell, the rest of this team is a little bit lackluster, and that's what makes me debate between putting them in kind of boring or entertaining. But I'm going to say because they have at least Darius Garland. Darius Garland does make Cavaliers game fun to watch. I mean, I'll be honest, the Evan Mobley and Jared Allen frontcourt is boring. But with them having Strus coming in and Georges Niang, and they have Imani Bates, who I want to keep an eye on, I'm going to say the Cavaliers are going to be entertaining to watch this season. Donovan Mitchell is a very entertaining player. He always has some very nice poster dunks, great shot creation, and yeah, you can say the same thing for Anthony Edwards, but I think Darius Garland and then having Imani Bates puts him over the top. You obviously want to see the development of Evan Mobley, and I think the Cavaliers are going to be an entertaining team to watch. They were decently entertaining this past season. Next, we got the Celtics. I think the Celtics this season are in between watching every game in primetime TV. I obviously do want to see that how that Kristaps Porzingis fit works, but for reasons of my own, I'm gonna put them in primetime TV. I don't think they have that extra selling factor that would put you in watching every game, because at the end of the day, they're still a duo-oriented team. The Suns have a big three, big four, whatever you want to call it, based on how good DeAndre will play this season. And the Spurs have Victor, who is just one of the most eye-grabbing players. That's why I want to see Spurs games for the first time in a while, alongside Keldon Johnson and some other solid guys. But the Celtics are going to be very fun to watch, but they're very close to watching every game, but just because I've seen Celtics games, things can get rough at times, and the ISO ball could get a little bit boring at times. So I'm just going to say they're primetime TV, because at the end of the day, they still are genuinely fun to watch. Next, we got the 76ers. And normally 76ers games, I would say, are pretty entertaining to watch. Joel Embiid and James Harden are a nice duo alongside with Tyrese Maxey. I don't know if James Harden is going to be traded. I really don't know. He's requested a trade. If he is off this team, I think this team is going to be just entertaining or in between kind of boring. But because I don't know if James Harden will still be on this team when the season starts, I'm going to keep them entertaining. Obviously, Joel Embiid, the MVP. It is fun watching Joel Embiid get to the free throw line 20 times a game. And he does have some nice dunks every now and then, some nice middies. James Harden's also fun. Tyrese, I'm going to keep them at entertaining. Next, we got the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know how many people necessarily watch Charlotte Hornet games, but there are a good amount of highlights on the Charlotte Hornets. And I feel like they're one of the younger teams that, because things get rough at times and they lose a lot of games, and even though LaMelo is still a fun player to watch, Brandon Miller is going to be fun. Kai Jones throws down some nice dunks. Miles Bridges also throws down some nice dunks. Because things can get a little bit rough because of their inexperience with young players at times, I'm going to keep them at entertaining. I think they are a very entertaining team. I think they do have primetime TV potential. This season, I do believe they could be primetime TV, but I'm gonna play it a little bit safer now. Just keep them at that entertaining spot. Next, we got the Washington Wizards. And call me crazy, guys, but I want to see the Washington Wizards primetime TV. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are going to be one of the most interesting duos. I want to see how this works out. I know some people have been seeing those TikTok and Instagram Reels edits about Jordan Poole being in the same situation as James Harden, being a 6-man coming off a contending team and now having his own team. I think Jordan Poole's going to average about 27 points a game. I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. You just have Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma absolutely running the show with Tyus Jones too. I think they're going to be primetime TV. They're one of the more younger, interesting teams, and maybe they make a play-in push. We'll see. But I just feel like Jordan Poole is a more fun player to watch than LaMelo or the Hornets have, and that's why I got the Wizards in primetime TV. I might change the Hornets later because now rethinking it, they are actually a decently fun team to watch, just with the exception that things can go wrong at times. But that's the truth about the Wizards too. You know, Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, things can get rough at times. So yeah, with that said, I'm actually gonna move the Charlotte Hornets back into primetime TV. They got some absolute highlight reels like Terry Rozier, very fun player to watch. Miles Bridges, LaMelo, Brandon Miller is gonna be fun to watch. And then Gordon Hayward is pretty cool to watch too when he's healthy, you know, which I'm sure a lot of people forgot about him. Mark Williams is also very intriguing to watch. Let's put the Hornets in. I'm gonna put the Hornets in primetime TV. Next, we got the Orlando Magic, and I'm gonna say because the Orlando Magic don't have that incredibly entertaining star on their team or amount of players on their team, I'm gonna put them in entertaining. Paolo Banchero is a very good player. He was pretty decently fun to watch this season. Cole Anthony throws you some nice dunks and shot creation. Jalen Suggs is cool to watch, I guess, very streaky. Bobo, in my opinion, was the most fun part to watch about this Orlando Magic team last season. He just had some incredible highlights last year and that stretch where he was just absolutely balling out. But they don't have him no more. I just think the Orlando Magic are going to be at least entertaining. Jet Howard and Anthony Black are going to be fun to watch, and I'll put them entertaining. Next, we have the Miami Heat, and let's be all honest, the Miami Heat are a lot more fun to watch during the playoffs than they are in the regular season. And I don't feel like not a lot of people tune in to Miami Heat games during the regular season. The way they play isn't anything flashy. They do play kind of similar to the Bucks, where they play systematic basketball and they just pass the ball around, do some handoffs. You know, they play very systematic and they win games when they have to, and they're more fun to watch come playoff time when, you know, they're actually consistently winning games. And the Heat are just kind of a drop off in the regular season, so I'm going to put them at kind of boring. Jimmy Butler is still a fun player to watch. If they get Damian Lillard, which they haven't gotten him yet, I think this team has the ability to be entertaining or primetime TV because Dame just brings that amount of fun to watching this Miami Heat basketball or Portland Trail Blazers team. But for now, I'm going to keep them in kind of boring. Next, we have the Atlanta Hawks. I feel like the Atlanta Hawks are kind of I'm between kind of boring and entertaining. They have Trae Young, he's a fun player to watch. DeJounte Murray, obviously John Collins was a big part of some of the highlights and fun in this team. They no longer have him. They do have Clint Capella still, but with that said, I feel like Atlanta Hawks games are bound to be kind of boring this season. You don't have that high flying dunk guy anymore on your team. He was kind of the most entertaining part besides Trae Young's insane passes and stuff. But I just feel like this team isn't anything crazy to watch. I mean, watch an Atlanta Hawks game and come back and tell me, is there anything that is super entertaining about this team? I think they're kind of boring. They're along the Heat and Bucks. And even though Trae Young is fun to watch, sometimes things do get rough. Keep them at kind of boring. And last, I got the Pacers. And I'm going to say the Pacers are going to be primetime TV this season. The reason I'm going to say the Pacers are going to be primetime TV this season is because Tyrese Halliburton is an absolute wizard with the ball. This guy makes some awesome passes, and he's very consistent. I just love Tyrese Halliburton. Jarris Walker is going to be a fun rookie to watch with his great defense. Obviously, Miles Turner has been getting better. He just came off a good season, and he's also fun to watch with him blocking shots. And we got Buddy Hield. Benedict Mathurin is one of the upcoming best young players. He's also very fun to watch with his shot creation and hustle and just his confidence. Buddy Hield is a great shooter. I just love where this Pacers team is going. Andrew Nembhard, one of the best backup point guards. I haven't heard many people talking about the Pacers. They've been getting better. Their young core is just absolutely amazing, and they're going to be one of the most fun teams to watch this season. I gotta have them at primetime TV. I think they do have watching every game potential, just because I'm very intrigued I'm not a Pacers fan, but I just am very intrigued in this young core, how underrated of a young core they have. They just have so many guys. They still have TJ McConnell too, one of the best defensive guards. This guy was getting a lot of steals in the past. And they just have a very fun team. A very fun team you guys got to watch out for. And this is my tier list. This is my final tier list for the watchability of every single NBA team going into this upcoming season. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. For more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe to stay on the radar for all things basketball.